Thank you so much. Can everyone hear me okay? Well, it really is an honor to be here with you over on the west coast of Florida. I want you to know something, how absolutely humbled I am that you would take time out of your Thursday evening to come out and spend some time with me, and let me share with you some of my thoughts about how we get this country back on track. You know, when I look out here and I see this thing called a Tea Party, I understand what it stands for. It stands for tax enough already. It is a great American movement. And what I want you to understand something, be very careful about. Don't let people define you. Don't let other people harness you and make you into something that you're not. Because the minute they try to structure you, the minute they try to make you something that is easily defined, you then become easily attacked. Do you understand that Clinton has hired Paul Begala and James Carville to come in and figure out who's the leader of the Tea Party? You guys have to stay. How many people remember the old Steve McQueen movie, The Blob? You have to stay like the Blob. An incredible energy that comes together. It shows up somewhere and is very forceful and powerful, but just as soon as you see it, it dissipates and goes away. Because you are a movement that is based upon principles. You are a movement that is based upon philosophy. You are a movement that is based upon the Constitution of the United States of America. The Federalist Papers, the Declaration of Independence. Understand the goals and objectives that our founding fathers had for this great country. It transcends party. And that is why they're afraid of you. They absolutely fear you because the American people are now taking over the political process. And they're saying, we had enough. That's why you see so many of them running scared and retiring and quitting. Why? Because finally you're holding them accountable. But understand one thing. It's like Pavlov's experiment. For so many years, we have been rewarding negative behavior. Remember in 2008 when everyone talked about how they were so upset with Congress? Congress had like a 22-23% approval rating. Had a 93% incumbent re-election rate. They don't believe 8 months from now, the 2nd of November, is a defining and decisive moment for the future and the legacy of this great republic. And they believe that you're going to run out of steam. They believe that they can wear you down. They believe that you will go into those booths and say, like people have said so many times before, Congress sucks. My congressman is okay. Make a difference this year. Send a message to them all that you have not properly represented us. This country was established upon the premise of taxation without representation. What we have in this country now is taxation with misrepresentation. Now, let me tell you how right we are. How strong we are in our voices. I had a couple of great incidents that have happened in the past couple of mornings over there in, you may call it the left coast, over in Broward County. Wednesday morning, I was at a breakfast. I was there to hear Admiral Fallon, the former Central Command commander, speak. And as I was standing in the breakfast line, a gentleman turned around and engaged me in conversation. And he said, you know what, I'm sick and tired of these Tea Party idiots that are ruining our country. And I said, stand by me. I said, what did you say when Cold Feet was out there? I said, what did you say when these kids dressed up in black with a ski mask, these anarchists are going out and they're tearing up storefronts and what have you? What do you say when some of these other radical groups come out there? You say nothing. So why is it that all of a sudden, when concerned Americans are standing up and challenging this government, you want to call them idiots? I think the real thing is that you as an intellectual elite absolutely threatened. So when you turn around, he got his eggs, and he made a story right through his table. They are going to call you names. They are going to try to bring you down. They are going to try to affect you. But you know what you have to do? As my mother used to say back in Georgia, baby, they crucified Jesus Christ. Don't worry about them calling your name. You are right. You are standing on principle. And you have to believe in that which you are professing. And just like when you turn the light on in some of those old southern homes and the roaches would then all of a sudden scurry away, turn the light on them, expose them for what they are, and challenge them. Because all they can do is call your name and run away. And then this morning, I had a real interesting engagement. And Bob, this is why I missed your radio show this morning, because I was there to hear a couple of the Sun Sentinel editorial writers in a debate. There was one gentleman there, of course, which was, who was left of Nancy Pelosi and everybody else. But he absolutely incensed me, because he stood there and he said he was sick and tired of the fact that America is still a racist nation because they continue to attack the president. And I kind of sat back, and Catherine will tell you, she was sitting next to me, and she saw the hair coming on the back of my neck. There is some hair back. And I gave him another chance, and he went right back at me. And I stood up in the middle of that debate forum, and I said, "Sir, you are wrong. Sir, do not try to make people uncomfortable in their skin because they're challenging someone based upon his policies. Do not make someone uncomfortable because they're challenging someone because of their character. Do not try to make this thing called white guilt take us back 30 or 40 years. Because America put him in the White House. And we live in a country where it is our right to petition our government and challenge what is going on." And of course, he could not believe that I would stand up in the middle of that forum and challenge him. And he uttered some words that he is now regretting. But he stood and said, "I'm going to do everything I possibly can to make sure you don't win that election." And later on, that morning, the editor of the Sun Sentinel called me to apologize and say that that gentleman would not be writing a story about this race because what he did was reprehensible. When you are writing, I think it's very important that you understand who you are and why you came out tonight and what it means to be in this 9/12 project, and what it means to be in the Tea Party, and truly what it means to be speaking about the Constitution, our rights and freedoms, and our liberties. I'd like to do a whole lot of reading. So I went back and I found a very old quote that I think applies to what we're talking about in the United States of America right now. I want to use this quote to kind of break things down in this country. And it says, "The budget should be balanced. The treasury should be refilled. Public debt should be reduced. The arrogance of officialdom should be tempered and controlled, and the assistance to foreign lands should be curtailed. Lest Rome becomes bankrupt. People must again learn to work instead of living on public assistance." That was written by Cicero in 55 BC. The principles of success of a nation have been long established. See, when Cicero said the budget should be balanced, Cicero will look at us right now and say, why don't you have a balanced budget amendment for your federal government? Because as long as you do not, they will continue to overspend. And then by overspending, they will continue to do the three things that they're doing, which is going to continue to ruin our economy, which is to rent money, borrow money, or raise taxes. And every time your taxes are raised, that's just a little bit more of your liberty that is taken away from you. See, right now we have a federal government that has no restraint. We have a federal government that, like the state of Florida, is not held within any type of boundaries. We have a federal government that is using their power to suppress the will of the American people. See, if we are going to get our budget balanced, we have got to transfer the wealth that is stored in Washington, D.C. by inept, incompetent, and corrupt politicians and bring it back down to each one of you all right here. Because you are the ones where innovation, ingenuity, and investment, and true economic growth comes from. The budget is not balanced because the largest growing sector in the United States of America right now is the public sector.